Hi, hello. So, let's watch another crash video. This one from a competition where the pilot got collapsed very low. He got a very nasty cravat and then overreacted a bit, then not reacted correctly, and then crashed to the ground and was very lucky actually to tumble on the ground, and he was not injured. Actually, he took off from this place and flew to the goal. Yeah, pretty crazy story. And this video is gonna make you clear the risk of flying a two-liner wing, and that it shows you type of cravat you can get if you have very few lines in the wing. So let's watch it and then I discuss it in the detail. Okay, so now let's start from the very beginning. So basically, so he's flying actually a little bit. We cannot really see this on the video, but I assume there is no speed involved. But you cannot clearly see it from the quality of the video I got from him. But anyway, so he's flying very low over this ridge. Very low, it's a competition, so you are pushing. And once you're pushing, sometimes you get to some places very low. And it's a south exposition. I mean, it's a west actually, like yeah, exposition. So in the sun, as you see, actually, but this part is probably south. So this is like exposed to the sun. There is some wind and mixing everything, and on the ridge like this, yeah, shit may happen. And this is actually what we see here. So he's flying very low. He has a very little space to the ground. And now you see the wing shoots forward. He starts to brake here a little bit. Quality of the videos, we don't see the lines, so we don't actually see the moment where it really starts to lose tension in the lines, but it's still moving forward. Yeah, his braking action is negligent. I mean, he had this reflex first, but it was maybe a little bit more like imbalance. The wing is still shooting forward. His hands are not going down. Now they move down because he's losing tension now. So now he's losing balance. And natural reaction is you search support. He gets this huge collapse. Quality of the video is he gets this huge collapse basically. Now you see it. Now his hands comes back up. And he's under the wing. The wing flies, and he has like a collapse, like a cravat on half of the wing, which is actually a good thing, because if you have a big one like this, it's not turning you to the side so strongly. So that's why in the moment, he's perfectly capable of flying forward. And now he's trying to do the brake. So, first things first. Me personally, whenever I fly close to ridge like this, so I have in my mind what someone told me. Actually, I never had to use it, but that I know I'm very low, so whatever happens, actually, it's the time for the rescue, kind of like. I mean, this case is a little bit, yeah, it has happened very quickly, and it reopened, and he's flying straight, perfect. But if I would lose control, if I would start to turn whatever, I know I'm very low. I just draw the rescue. This is basically what I have before. Any time I come close to the ground like this, before I come, I tell to myself, if something happens, it's the rescue, because there is no altitude for this. So this is what I do basically before coming place like this, because you are very low, strong conditions here, and yeah, the risk is there. So this is the first point. The second point is he's pumping here. So if I know that I'm close to the ground, the theoretically, of course, this is all under pressure and stress, but it's also important to understand that if the wing can fly, if you may have just 30% of wing left, and it's gonna fly. So there is no rush, so to say. And if you are close to the ground, the first priority is to get away from the ground so that you have space. Yeah, and this is actually the first mistake that he does here, because he's very close to the ground, and the wing flies. It does not turn so strongly. So yeah, I would try to. Of course, he's out of balance. It's not. It's not nice, but I would try to fly away from this and then take care of the cravat. So this is before the flight. I try to think about this. What happens if? And the first thing is to, if it flies, yeah, fly away, and then take care of it. So but the point is, of course, you have to think about this, have to visualize it before the flight, because if shit happens, you are under stress, you are just a lizard. All thinking, like all intelligence, everything is gone in under stress. We came back to to the very basic instincts, and yeah, that's why you have to train it on SIV, because if you do like full stalls or other maneuvers, you may get a situation like this, and then you learn how to cope with this, and you get also a bit calmer if you train it a lot on SIV. But basically, if you don't, then yeah, this is not the moment to think about things. So again, the right thing here would be just fly away, keep it flying, not brake, fly away from the slope. But he's bumping, and the trick is that you can also observe for the collapses and then understand that the wing. So this is a two-liner. There's a lot of space between the lines because there are so few lines. So there's a huge chance of getting a nasty cravat. Like that's not gonna come out even, which is actually the case of this cravat, as we will see in a moment. But yeah, so there is also a limit to what you can do. And you may try to pump once, but I wouldn't do this so close to the terrain. I would fly away, even though just doing the spin entry for a cravat clearing, it's yeah, it doesn't. The chances, there's always a little bit of chance that you're gonna lose control. Yeah, especially if you have a big one like this with a lot of drag, it may go into full stall in no time, and you have no space for this here. That's why flying away is the first thing to do. And yeah, and if you pumped it once deeply and it doesn't come out at all, yeah. The way he does the pumping here, well, the thing is that the cravat is so huge that yeah, pumping is pretty inefficient in a huge cravat like this because there's nothing to pump. Yeah, so this is also a problem with this situation. And then the full stall is the next thing to try, but for this you need to have space, which is not the case here, so you cannot do it here. So yeah, if you can fly away, then fly away. If you cannot, then it's probably the moment to throw the rescue. You pumped it once, doesn't work, and you cannot fly straight. But in this case, I think he would be able to fly away. Yeah, then you fly away. If you cannot fly away, then the rescue. Yeah, so you see this crowd is pretty nasty. The trick is also he's braking a little bit here. We don't actually know how much he needs of this brake not to turn, but now is the moment where it goes. So now it's basically he kept this hand too low and too deep. I mean, too long, low, and too deep. Deep is okay, but for a short time. But he kept it too long, and now he stalled this cravatted side. So he actually entered spin. And now if you do a lot of this on SIV, you are pre-programmed. Your body is pre-programmed, at least from what I've seen. But yeah, but this is basically how you get. It's pre-programmed wherever your body detects this movement of falling behind and turning away. Your hand is automatically gonna go up, and the wing. I mean, here with this cravat, I don't know because I haven't had something like this with the big cravat like this. But without the cravat, the hands goes up and the wing stops turn and it shoots forward basically. So this is the just enter spin, and before it even starts to turn, I mean, it starts to turn just a little bit, but before it's turning, then you release automatically if you're trained, and then it's over, so to say. But this is the moment where you can clearly see that he's flying this wing without enough SIV training. I think if I remember correctly, he told me he did like 2 SIVs, if I remember correctly. But yeah, 2 SIVs is not enough in my opinion. If you fly like competition, like sporty wing, and close to the ground sometimes because you are competing, so you get into some compromises. So this reaction is not here. This automatic hands up. I mean, now it goes a little bit, but now it's a little bit too late because it's already turning. And now it's already turning. So basically the hand should go up to the roller. And this, from what we see, his hand is lower. Yeah, so this is just lack of training. And the right hand is too low. So, and the trick is if you do few like spin to stall, spin to backfly actually. If you do this a few times on SIV, then you pretty clearly understand that whenever you are in a spin, it's extremely easy to enter full stall. And you really have to have the hands up to the top, not to enter it. And you give us a little bit of break on the positive side, on this side that's flying forward, and it enters backfly in no time. And this is not the place to do backflies because you are just too low. So this is one thing. The other thing that we see here, it's pretty interesting. You see, he already did this spin. So if this cravat would be, if you would be able to clear this cravat by spin entry or full stall, this would have happened already, but it's not happening. So it's a bad cravat. And actually, I don't know how you clear a cravat like this. You tell me if you know. Yeah, if I would be in the situation like this, I did like a spin or a full stall and stays like this. Yeah, then I would assess if I can land with this or I can just fly somewhere where I can throw the reserve safely, and I throw the reserve. That would be my plan for this, because I don't know how to clear cravats beyond the negative flow over the wing, like in the like in a spin or a full stall backfly basically. So his hand is too low, even though it's not very low, but you need just a little bit of break to enter the backfly, and this is actually what happens now. You see this tip starting to point forward, so now the wing is flying to the like rearwards, kind of like. And now he's fully developed backfly. This cravat still stay there, so it's gonna stay there forever. This is just so entangled into the lines. There are so few lines that the wingtip can really go a shitty place, and then you are done. In my experience or my knowledge, you can only throw the reserve. Tell me if I'm wrong. And yeah, and the problem now is that he's in this backfly, and this is the moment to leave this backfly. And again, if you train it enough on SIV, I imagine you would do this intuitively. I mean, I had like spin entry. I was like thermaling, and but fully by surprise, I got a spin entry, and I left immediately because I understood this movement. My body actually understood, because this is too fast for you to consciously understand, but my body understood it, and I released my hand, and it's no problem. On SIV, sometimes I get also like a huge cravat. You can watch other videos on my channel, and then same, you touch a bit brake, and it goes behind, but my reaction from what I've seen on my videos is the hands goes, before I even understand what's going on, the hand is going up fully to the roller. And this is also something that you don't see, is that his hands movement, I mean, the braking was deep, but the hands don't go up to the roller. They go somewhere in between. This is not, what you learn if you do some SIV. You understand that the full brake movement, basically, that would be needed here to leave this spin entry, basically, and not enter the spin. and then also not to enter, but this is very difficult actually, not to enter the flyback from the spin. Yeah, but this is again, so now the moment to leave, although if you are so low, it's already tricky because if you leave a full stall like this, I mean backfly like this on a quick, then you may have a pendulum, and if you're close to the ground in this pendulum, you may actually crash, and this is very, very dangerous. So there were already many moments for him to throw the rescue. I mean, it is very low, but it's never too low to throw the rescue parachute. And while throwing the rescue, maybe he would just release the brakes, and that wing would refly. So although with a huge cravat like this reflying without the brake could also enter a spiral. But yeah, so it's a complex situation. But for sure, one thing that you see, he's not, I mean, he's looking up, that was good from time to time, but he has not rescue in his head. And this is also something that you learn in the SIV. Do SIV enough, and you always know that there is a limit of what you can do, and then there's the rescue. And if you are so low over the ground, then you understand that's not the place to mess around. Yeah, so this is also missing here now. Hands up, let it go out of the backfly basically. Now, yeah, now, yeah, but I mean it's unstable. It goes up and behind, so this is a little bit from the backfly, and maybe also he's braking, but he's actually now at the ground. Yeah, this is actually, it was too loud for the rescue. The rescue would be like the first moment. Yeah. So he got very, very lucky. The first thing is that if you are backfly, you are kind of like flying. You are not really falling down, but you are a little bit flying. So the speed, the vertical speed is a little bit less than in normal, than just falling. But it's still pretty quick. And he was also lucky because he had this buffy racing harness with a huge protection back, and there was a slope, and he was able to turn to tumble on this slope. So that was very lucky. And yeah, that was very lucky. But yeah, a lot of luck involved. So now summing up, you fly a two-liner, you may get a shitty cravat. Basically, there is a very large space between the lines. Few lines, you may get shitty cravat. If you look on YouTube, there are enough videos showing this. So this is the first thing. And the second thing is, if you fly a wing like this, you are flying a competition, so you are pushing, and you are flying places you would normally not fly, or you are flying low. You need SIV, you need reflexes, you need automatic reactions, because if you don't have them, and you need to also just understand that the rescue parachute is there to be used. Because before my SIV, I thought I will never use the rescue. I have it with me, but I never use it. But if you do SIV, you have those automatic reactions that would probably avoid this here, and at the same time you know that where the limit is for you to be able to manage the situation when the moment is to throw the rescue. So this is this, and the other thing was there was one more thing I want to say. But anyway, maybe I remember, and I put it in the call. Of course. And the other thing was, if you are so first close to the ground, you have to be really thinking about the rescue. And whenever you are not sure if you have control, it's the rescue basically. So this is the thing. And the second thing is, if the wing flies, yeah, then and you are close to the ground, your first priority is to get some safe place and then mess around. There is no reason to mess around with the wing that's flying, and you may perfectly fly on the 30% left of the wing. You have 70% cravat, and you may perfectly be able to fly. So depending on how the cravat folds, actually, because sometimes it makes a lot of drag, and then you won't be able to do this. But sometimes, yeah, it doesn't, and then you are able to do this. So basically, this is the main conclusion of this video. If you go racing like sporty wings, two liners, you have to go and master SIV, and mastering SIV, like for me personally, and from what I heard, actually, is doing 200 stalls. And you do 200 stalls, and then on doing this, you get cravats and other situations. You may have a look on my channel to see what happens if you do enough stalls, and then yeah, then you will be more. You will have at least the automatic reactions which are correct in those situations. So thank you for your attention, and yeah, and see you watching another video. Well, hopefully not, but unfortunately there are enough of those videos to watch.